up, everybody? My name is Logan Strome. Welcome to CTF Strome Talks Football. Today is Friday, and it is a day away from playoff time, so I wanted to give you a top 10 list of my favorite playoff games ever. A few things before we get rolling here. One, I will have recency bias. I did not watch football like in the 80s and 90s or early 2000s, some of it. But I will have some early bias. I will have one like old game, spoiler alert, but there's a reason. So if there's any older people watching this and they are offended that their favorite playoff game is not on this list, please don't get too upset. I just have recency bias. Like I'm just a little younger and I just did not watch football for that long. Another thing, I am not including Super Bowls. It is just strictly playoff games. We will get to that once the Super Bowl time is here. I have Super Bowl videos planned. And also, one last thing, try not to get offended by this video. If your favorite playoff game is not on this list, please please try not to get too upset. It's just something I'm doing for fun. If your favorite playoff game, if you want to put it in the comments, please do so. I want to know. So now that I got out of the way, let's get rolling. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos whenever I post. With all that out of the way, let's get started. Alright, so starting off at number 10, we've got the Browns vs. Steelers 2020 wildcard game. Now, I get it. This game was not close at all for most of this game until the fourth quarter where Big Ben just went off against the backups. But, yes, this was a Browns blowout, but this was so fun to watch, man, because the Steelers were so freaking arrogant, and they were so cocky that season, man. The start of this season, the Steelers started off like 11-0, 12-0, something crazy like that, and then they choked the rest of the season, basically. They ended off 12-4. And they were talking so much shit before this game, saying how the Browns are just the Browns. No matter how skilled they are, the Browns will always just be the Browns. And the Browns did not take offense to that. They did not talk much in the media. They just played their asses off in this game, and it showed. Like, this game was really fun to watch if you did not like the Steelers at the time, which I did not. I have nothing against the Steelers now, but, dude, back then, they were so unlikable. You had guys like Juju, who would just talk shit every single week, always go on his TikTok doing stupid dances on the middle of every team's field. Like, it was stupid. And once Mike Tomlin, told him to knock it off, he wouldn't listen. If I had to include, a regular season game, it would be them playing the Bengals that year, too, because he got popped, in that game. That was hilarious. But that's beyond the point. We're talking about this game. Yeah, this game was really good. Baker Mayfield threw his ass off. He threw 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, but Big Ben threw for 4 touchdowns, most of those being at the end of the game during backups. But he threw 4 interceptions. How crazy was that? It was a nightmare for the Steelers ever since the first snap. I will always love this game just because of the Steelers' arrogance, man. This will always go through Steelers history, and this will always bite them in the ass. Alright, next at number 9, we've got another wildcard game. We've got the Titans versus the Patriots in 2019. This is pretty similar to the Browns versus Steelers wildcard game in 2020. But this game was a lot closer, and this game was just a lot more fun to watch in general. At this point in time, we had a feeling the Patriots dynasty had to end at some point. This was the worst the Patriots have looked at, in a long time at the time. And Tom Brady was having one of his, bad seasons compared to, the rest of his seasons. And they just did not look that good, despite their record at 12-4. But we didn't think it was going to be this soon. We thought the Patriots are going to win this game, and we thought they were going to at least make the AFC Championship game. But this game stunned us all. The Titans played great ball, and they stunned us all, and they made us love the Titans for a while. And the Titans' offense really didn't go crazy. I mean, Ryan Tannehill had a really good game, but it was mostly Derrick Henry, which, fun fact, it was his birthday that day, so you knew he was going to go off. But he went off in this game, man. He was the heart and soul of the Titans' offense at the time. I mean, they had A.J. Brown, but that was rookie A.J. Brown, where he was still good, but he's not the A.J. Brown we know and love today. But, yeah, the Titans played a great game, and the Patriots just could not get anything going in this game. Their offense looked extremely sluggish, and their defense just can't carry the team forever, even though the Patriots' defense that year was really good. So, yeah, this was a very entertaining game, and this basically ended the Patriots dynasty, man. This was a great game to watch. Up next at number 8, we've got our first conference championship on the list. Spoiler alert, there's a lot of these. We've got the Packers versus the Seahawks 2014 NFC Championship. Dude, they had us in the first half. I thought the Packers were going to make this game. I thought they were going to win. I thought they were finally going to go to the Super Bowl again. but the Seahawks came up with a huge comeback at the end, and they won the game in overtime. If you're a fan of of an NFC team as well as myself, like, you can admit that this short dynasty the Seahawks had was a little annoying, like, but at the same time, you can't lie and say that this was not extremely entertaining and this was not a fun team to watch, because you'd be lying if you said that, man. Prime Russell Wilson, prime Marshawn Lynch. You had the Legion of Boom on defense. You had prime Richard Sherman. You had prime Earl Thomas. Like, it was really fun to watch. It was some great stuff. This game will always be known as one of the best conference championships we've ever gotten in the 2010s, and it for good reason. This game was so fun to watch. Alright, at number 7, we've got the 49ers versus the Cowboys in the 2021 wildcard round. This, I will say, by far was one of the most entertaining playoff games I've ever watched. Like, this had that big game feel. Like, what's that word the kids say nowadays? Aura. Like, it had that. Like, it had that big game feel. Like, something big was about to happen in this game. And that year, both teams were really talented. The Cowboys were 12-5. They had a really good record. They were a really very good team. And you had the Niners, who barely made the playoffs, but they're also a very talented team. And plus these two are really big rivals. Like, this is one of the best rivalries in the NFL. Like, you already know this is going to be a great game. Like, during this game, it was so entertaining. Like, even before, like, there was videos of Cowboys fans and Niners fans. As soon as the gates of AT&T Stadium opened, like, fans were storming in to get their seats. Like, it was so packed, and it was so worth the wait. But yeah, this game was really entertaining. Debo went off. Dak Prescott made some great throws. They had great receivers from both sides. They had CeeDee Lamb and they had Amari Cooper. Like, there was a lot to watch. And the funny part is, because I get to laugh about this now, the way the Cowboys lost, oh boy. The Cowboys lost this game was hysterical to me. So instead of just trying to throw it or just trying to do anything else, the Cowboys decided to do a QB run down the middle to slide. There was 0 timeouts. They had 7 seconds left. And they, of course, the rule is the ref has to place the ball down, not the center. So they have to get that over with. So, and they could not do it in time. The clock ran out, and the Niners won that way. I mean, this game was a lot, not as close as it was towards the end, but the Niners, basically choked at the end almost, but they still ended up winning. But the thing that makes it crazy is that Cowboys fans still try to fight, saying it's the refs' fault they lost, which that's not the case. They could have done so much other things to win this game, and no, they lost because of themselves. But still, this was a very fun game to watch, and I will always remember watching this. Alright, coming up at number 6, I know this is biased, but this will be the Vikings vs. Saints 2009 NFC Championship game. And I know, we have bounty on players. I'm completely aware of that, and I do not approve of it. I'm aware. I was not proud of our team when I heard we did that. But at the same time, I couldn't focus on that. I had to focus on the fact we made it to our one and only Super Bowl. I did not care about that stuff at the time. But yes, I will admit that was wrong. Even ignoring all that stuff, you'd be lying if you said this game was not entertaining, because it was. This game was extremely fun to watch. Both teams are extremely talented. Both QBs went off between Drew Brees and Brett Favre. And yeah, this game was extremely close too. And it came down to a field goal where the Saints won at the end, 31-28. This game was really fun. Do I think the Vikings got screwed a little bit? Yes, I do. Ref ball was not the greatest in that game. But am I going to complain about it? Hell no, man. This was our only Super Bowl. I do not regret this at all. I love this game. Alright, the next one we've got is the Patriots versus the Chiefs 2018 AFC Championship game. Dude, I know, a lot of people hate both of these teams. Well, people didn't hate the Chiefs at the time, but, you have to admit, this game was so entertaining. Basically, it's the dynasty we had at the time going against the dynasty we have now. It was some great football. Both of these teams played really well, too. Well, the Chiefs didn't play that great in the first half, but they came back in the second half. This game was so entertaining. Both QBs played great. Mahomes, his first season as a starting quarterback, obviously he played out of his mind. He won MVP. Tom Brady, even though the whole season as a whole didn't play that great, he did play a really good game in this game. And yeah, this game was just really entertaining. And this game came down to overtime, and the Patriots ended up getting the upper hand, winning 31. Like, this game was so great. Yes, I do believe the Chiefs got a little bit screwed in this game, which is crazy saying that now because the Chiefs get bailed out every second nowadays. But, yeah, I think the Chiefs got a little bit screwed in this game. I think the Chiefs should have won this game. But either way, doesn't matter whoever won this game. Like, this game was still entertaining to watch. I just wish this would have led to an entertaining Super Bowl because the Super Bowl after that was garbage. Next at number 4, we've got a classic. We've got the Cowboys vs. 49ers 1981 NFC Championship game. I just remember just hanging out the house, like kind of bored, just watching like football highlights, and then my dad one day showed me this game on YouTube. And man, this was so entertaining, even though this was decades later. Like, this game was so entertaining. Obviously, I knew about the legendary catch you could see on the screen right there. Obviously, like the catch, but went my life like not seeing this whole game, and I'm so glad I did because this game was amazing. Like, again, this had that big game feel to it because it was the Niners versus the Cowboys. Like, it will always have that big game feel because it's such a great rivalry. Like, you have Joe Montana, obviously, and Jerry Rice, one of the best duos of all time. You have Danny White, who was honestly a pretty decent quarterback, and you had, like, a great Cowboys offense. Like, this game was so entertaining to watch. There were stars from both squads, but the Niners ended up getting the upper hand and obviously winning the game off the catch from Dwight Clark. Like, this was a great game. So if you're ever in the mood to watch an old entertaining playoff game, like, check this one out. Like, this is one of the best playoff games of all time. Alright, at number 3, we've got the Patriots vs. Colts 2006 AFC Championship game. This one will always be a classic. It will always be, hands down, one of the best rivalries in AFC football history, man. Like, the Colts versus the Patriots at the time, holy crap, dude. That was such a great rivalry between Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, two of the best quarterbacks of all time. It was some great stuff. Usually these two teams would trade off each other with wins, but like this game, both teams played out of their minds, but the Colts did end up getting the upper hand and winning 38-34 in a thriller. Like, this game was so great. And better yet, this is what led the Colts to winning the Super Bowl at the end. Like, the Colts were such a great team, so were the Patriots. Both Tom Brady and Peyton Manning played out of their minds. Like, this felt like a well-earned victory, like, by the Colts. Like, this was a fantastic game. Alright, at number 2, we've got a great one here. We've got the Niners vs. Seahawks 2013 NFC Championship game. This one popped the F off. Obviously, this is where, like, the Seahawks-Niners rivalry really picked up, where both teams were extremely talented. The Niners, the last season before, came off of a Super Bowl loss, trying to make it back. The Seahawks are starting their basically their short little dynasty with the Legion of Boom and their very high-powered offense. Both of these teams played great, but the Seahawks did end up getting the upper hand with this legendary pick by Richard Sherman, man. Him in his prime was incredible. The rivalry between Richard Sherman and Michael Crabtree was just legendary, even though Sherman was, like, levels more talented than Crabtree. Like, Michael Crabtree was a trash receiver, like, I'm not even gonna lie, but Sherman, man, like, his legendary his legendary interview at the end of the game, man, we'll never forget it. I wish the Niners-Seahawks rivalry can be as great as this, because this was peak NFC football right here. Like, this was some great football to watch. Like, you had the Colts and the Patriots on the other side, and then you had the 49ers and the Seahawks right here. Like, this was so fun to watch. Like, they need to pick up this rivalry back. And finally, at number 1, the best playoff game, in my personal opinion, is the Bills versus the Chiefs in the 2021 divisional round game. Shockingly enough, the only divisional round game on this list. Obviously, this is when we started disliking the Chiefs. Like, we started getting tired of them. This game at the end was not the ending we wanted. But you can't lie in saying this game was not incredible. Like, even though the Chiefs won, like, this game was nothing short of incredible. Like, you never knew who was going to win at the end until the last play in overtime. Like, this game was so fun to watch. And this game really started to pick up the Josh Allen-Mahomes rivalry we are used to today. Like, this game, like, really solidified it. Like, you had Mahomes and Josh Allen basically making us ask, like, what's a defense? Because the defense just, like, the defenses from both sides just could not do anything. Even when the Bills' defense at the time was really good. Like, you had Travis Kelce and Gabe Davis, out of all people, going off. That's when Gabe Davis really started to become popular. You had Tyreek Hill making great plays. Like, it was so incredible. Like, it was one of the most entertaining games I've ever watched in my life. And again, like, this was not the ending we wanted. Like, this was not the outcome we asked for. Like, we did not want the Chiefs to win. But at the same time, we just could not help but not be upset, like, at the outcome. Just because we're left with such a phenomenal game. Even if the Chiefs won 42-36. Like, this game was so incredible to watch, and we will always remember it. Like, this game will never be forgotten. And there you guys have it. That was my top 10 list of my favorite playoff games ever. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments on what is your favorite playoff game. I would love to know. And maybe I can consider my list. So maybe there's some games I forgot to put on here. Like, I would love to know. But in the meantime, that is where I'm going to be done for today. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, turn on notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos whenever I post. I'm Logan Sharon. I'll see you next time.